Hey guys, it's CyberKnight 610 working using some different technology this time, where you should see like a little window of me somewhere. I don't know where it's all mirrored, I'm pretty sure for me. And I thought it would be a pretty interesting way of doing discussions maybe in the future and stuff like that. This is also a new like mini series that I've been working on. It is top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I decided not to, just put all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards together and make a top 10, so I will have like monsters, synchros, spells, and traps. So I figured it would be better just to kind of do that and, it'd be a little bit more fun, have a few more videos on that. Number 10 so far is, oh yeah, I should probably explain a little bit more stuff first off before I start jumping into the list. Um, let's see, this list isn't, just for like a particular type, it is for like cards that could be used in multiple decks. So Judgment Dragon, for example, will not be on this list because it's basically a card you can only use with Light Storms. So that's my reasoning for that. I talk more about other cards, that are more like staple type cards. So yeah, that's the reason for that kind of stuff. So don't have comments that are, oh, why isn't Judgment Dragon or Dark Arm Dragon or I don't know, Quackimero Maximus, I don't know, something like that, because they are specific, they require specific cards to bring them out, stuff like that, and this is more of, these are staple cards, which is kind of the same for spells, the trap, discussion, and synchros and all too. Of course, there are a few mixed in here and there. So yeah, also, if you disagree in any way, please leave a comment. Constructive criticism, though. Don't be like, all kinds of cuss words, blah, blah, blah. You know how that is. I'd rather you make a video for yourself and put that as a video response. I'd love to watch over all those. Hopefully you guys can hear all the noise in the background with this microphone. And yeah, alright, let's jump on in now. Dune Caliber Knight. First one I want to talk about, it was a Shonen Jump card, which you could win at tournaments. It used to be really high dollar. I believe it's only worth like 30 now since it came out in the turbo packs. Really cool artwork. It's a good well-rounded card. It's a level 4 dark type fiend. This card cannot be special summon. When the effect monster's effect is activated, you contribute this card to negate the effect's activation and destroy the monster. 1,900 attack, 1,800 defense, which is a very good card. It's really well rounded. Usually, if they have the high attack, they have a really weak defense. So this is a pretty cool card. And let's see, I believe this card is ran in Chaos Stud, I believe is one of the new decks that's come out that a lot of people are using. One of my friends told me about how it's really good in that deck. So yeah, that's the reason I chose it. It is just, like I said, really, really well-rounded. It's more of the anti-meta type card, and you could see it in more than just a certain type of deck. So that's the reason I'm talking about it. And the reason it's number 10. Number 9, Gaius. Of course it has to be on this list. It is one of the most well-rounded, for some reason I can't say that, cards in the game right now, and most people are using it just about any deck. Of course, this is, in my opinion, the best Monarch. It's level 6, Fiend. When this card's tribute summon, you can remove and play one card on the field. If it was a dark monster card, you can inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. 2,400 attack, 1,000 defense. I consider it the best because it removes the card from play, which is a lot harder to bring back cards like that. So it's pretty good, in my opinion. I mean, it's just I'm not 100% sure if Calstone runs that or not. Like I said, it's a new deck that I've heard about, so it might also run this card too. I know a lot of decks do. I ran it in my Star's Assault. I believe it is in my Quick Draw deck. I think I'm running it. And a few other decks like that I've also are running it. And of course, Frog Monarchs, of course. I believe that is one of the top decks this format, if not the top deck. Not 100% sure on that. But yeah, it's a really good card. Enough said, really. And pretty easy to get, too, for it being such a good card. Deep Sea Diva, number 8. The reason it's on here, I should have put it and Crebons like side by side because they're kind of on the same scale. For a while, I remember there was kind of like this argument of which one was better. They're both really good, and they help swarm the field really well. I figured I would talk about this one more, though, since it seems like in this metagame, you're going to see more Deep Sea Diva than you will Crebons now, since we have some better tuners. At the beginning, Crebons was really epic, of course, because it was an awesome tuner. This one, though, is level 2 Sea Serpent tuner, and when this card's normal summon, you can special summon one level 3 or lower Sea Serpent monster from the deck. So you can special summon multiples of this card, Even though it has 200 attack, 400 defense, doesn't matter because you're going to synchro summon. So yeah, just really cool card. It's pretty broken in some ways, especially when it first came out. Not as bad now though. But yeah, pretty cool card. It deserved to be on the list. Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. Now, I know what some of you guys are probably thinking. Thinking I probably should have had a separate category with tuners. Well, I kind of figured that at the beginning, but I think tuners deserve to be on the list with the other effect monsters because they're pretty good, and it's kind of neat to see all these tuner monsters actually being used because before tuners and synchros came out, we only had like everyone would only use like the really strong monsters, and now they're having to use these weaker monsters to synchro summon, so it's pretty cool, I think, in my opinion. Let's see, of course, this is Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. Level 3 Winged Beast Tuner, and if you control Blackwing monster other than Blackwing Gale of the Whirlwind, you can special summon this card from your hand. Once returned, you can have the attack and defense of one face-up monster your opponent controls. 1,300 attack, 400 defense. First off, it's epic and Blackwings. You have to have at least, well, you have to have one because the ban list. Too bad it wasn't like back then where you could have three of this guy. Really good because you can special summon him. Really easy, and Blackwings you can have like you can totally swarm the field with Blackwings. And of course, it's a shrink ability where it can just do that once per turn, and that really comes in handy. So yeah, it's just a really good tuner monster. Of course, probably the best level 3 tuner out there, in my opinion. See next, number 6, DD Crow. This card is in most people's side decks. I believe it's still being used a lot now because it can counter Stardust Dragon, so it comes in handy pretty well. Of course, it is level 1 Winged Beast. During each player's turn, you can discard this card to the graveyard to remove and play one card in your opponent's graveyard. 100 attack, 100 defense. So you can see how that can come in handy in a lot of different ways. Get rid of their ace monster so they can't bring it back with like Monster Reborn. There's all kinds of different strategies you can use with this guy. He's more for side deck, and I believe most Blackwing decks run this guy because he is a Winged Beast Dark type. So yeah, pretty good card though. I thought it deserved to be on the list. Number 5, Glowup Bulb. One of the newest cards we have. I actually got two of them out of the box that I have from Star Strike Blast, if you want to check that out. Really awesome card. Probably the best level 1 tuner we have probably now, and in my opinion. Let's see, level 1 tuner plant, of course, and you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard and summon this card from your graveyard. Each player can only use this effect of Glowup Bulb once per duel. 100 attack, 100 defense. Can really be a game changer, really, especially in Natria's, Quick Draw, different things like that. This card can really come in handy because you can mill it to the graveyard and bring it back, sort of like what people would do with Plague Spread or Zombie. And you could use it to sacrifice for monarchs. You can use it to bring out Formula Synchron. Yeah, there's just so many strategies you can use with this. It's one of the best cards that we've had in a pretty good while, especially being a tuner. So yeah, pretty cool card. I mean, what else can you say about it? It's just a really good card. Number 4, Cyber Dragon. Of course, it has to be on this list. This card's been used a lot ever since it first came out. Really good card in the GX days, of course, and still is, which is pretty cool to see that an older card like this is still out there and doing really well. Especially now, I believe you can use 3, so there are Cyber Dragon decks out there. It's a level 5 light machine, and if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. 2,100 attack, 1,600 defense. Very good, special summon, and if you have a tuner, or you can just normal summon a tuner after you bring this guy out and synchro summon, or you can just use him for his attack. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can use this. There's a lot of fusions, of course, for this guy, so you can fusion summon real easy with them too. Just all around good card, and the art from the Zane pack is just awesome. I need to get one more Zane pack one, and I'll have a playset. So yeah, let's see. And number 3, Treeborn Frog. Another one that kind of deserves to be on the list, of course. Most decks are running this now. I believe it is also at 3, sort of like with Cyber Dragon. If this card is in your graveyard during your standby phase and you control no spell or trap cards, you can special summon this card. You can special summon it. If this effect cannot be activated if you control a face-up Treeborn Frog. So you can only have one on the field. It's a level 1 water, of course, 100 attack, 100 defense. It kind of has the same thing going on, sort of like Glowup Bulb, except it's not a tuner. But you can use it to sacrifice. You can use it for synchro summons real quick if you're missing, one level. There's all kinds of different ways you can use him. Tribute, it really comes in handy in Frog Monarch, of course. Easy staple and that kind of stuff. So yeah, just really good card. Just that basic, really. Number two, Gores. The reason he's number two, because just about everyone has to have one. Especially since he first came out. As soon as he came out, he was limited to one. So that kind of says something right there. Really cool looking card too. I always thought he was really neat. And let's see, he is a level. Let's see, I'm gonna have to count. Level 7, Dark Fiend, and 2,700 attack, 2,500 defense. His ability is kind of hard to read, but I'm gonna read it because it's kind of small in print. When you take damage from your opponent controls while you control no cards, you can switch summon this card from your hand, then activate the appropriate effect based on the type of damage. If it's battle damage, you can special summon a Gorge token. That'd be a fairy type light, level 7, and its attack and defense are question marks. Its attack and defense are equal to the amount of damage you took. If it's effect damage, then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the amount of damage you took. And plus, he still comes out. So yeah, just really good card, easy to bring out, and if you had like Glowup Bulb, you could easily Synchro Summon with this guy to bring out some Synchro monsters like that, and just really cool. I mean, what else can you really say about this guy? Awesome art, awesome ability. I remember using him in some of the video games before he actually came out in card form. So yeah, really good card. Uh, there's like I said, like most of these cards really, there's not much you can say because they're just a good card. And for number one, drum roll, Thunder King Rio. It might be kind of out of the blue. It should probably be closer to where Doom Caliber Knight is, but I've always liked this card. I like it better than Doom Caliber Knight, to be honest. It's, of course, level 4 Thunder. Neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand, except by drawing them. You can send this card face up to the graveyard to negate the search summon of one of your opponent's monsters and destroy it. This card was perfect to go against Gladiator Beast. It was perfect to stop Judgment Dragon, Dark Arm Dragon. It's just the ultimate meta anti-meta card actually, and it's just really good. 1,900 attack, 800 defense. I mean, can't really go wrong with this guy. He's uh, one of probably the most wanted cards that was from a manga, I believe, and it came out in the Gold Series, which is awesome that it got a reprint, and yet they're still pretty hard to come by. So yeah, just a really good card, and I think that's why it deserves number one. So tell me what you guys think. Do you think I was pretty good on some of my predictions, of what would be number one and, through 10, or do you agree with some, disagree with some? Like I said, I'd like to see videos in response to this and see your top 10. Alright, and yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this new way of making videos. Hopefully it works. I'm not 100% sure if it'll work or not. So yeah, if you see my face in the bottom corner, it worked. If not, it didn't work. So yeah, please subscribe. Bye, YouTube.